Now that we have a good understanding of variables and strings, let's take a look at the next type in PHP, which is going to be numbers. And we're going to create a new work area for ourselves. Once again, I'm going to do that by doing a save as on the file I've been working with, and go ahead and just call it numbers.php. And I'll save it in the same PHP sandbox, and I'll just go ahead and get all of this out of there so that I have a nice clean workspace to start working in, and I'll just call it numbers. Now I've saved it. There we go. So I'm going to start out by just setting a couple of variables to some numbers. And we know what numbers are. That's common sense. So I've got 3 and 4 assigned to 2 variables. And we've already seen how we could do some basic math when we did an echo function earlier and we added a couple of numbers together. And in fact, besides addition, we can do all sorts of math operations. So here's some basic math. We're going to echo back 1 plus 2 plus the variable 1, which we know will give us 3, the value that it refers to. Take all of that, add it together, then multiply it by variable 2, whose value we know is 4, and then divide all of that by 2 minus 5. And if we save that and we jump over to our web browser, instead of string functions now we're going to be looking for numbers.php. There we are. And you'll see that it comes back and gives me a result of 7. Now that makes a lot of sense to us, that we should be able to add numbers this way, and that we should be able to call up the values of variables the same way that we did with strings. If you'll remember with strings, we also did something else when we did concatenation in the strings function, where we actually updated the value inside the variable third string. We can do the same kind of thing here. Let's go ahead and make a new line, and let's put in the plus equals method. And I'm going to put in some PHP, which is going to take variable 2 plus equals 4. And then immediately after that, go ahead and echo back the value of variable 2. Now, the semicolon tells it that it's 2 separate lines, so it's no big deal that we have them all together. And then let's put a BR at the end. And let's take a look at that in our browser and see if it does what we might expect it would do. And sure enough, the string I put at the beginning there is just HTML. The value is 8, and that's what we're looking at here. It took the variable 2, whose value was 4, and it updated it. In the same way that we appended the string on, it added the number 4 into that, making the value of the variable equal to 8. And then we echoed back that variable. Now, besides just doing addition, there are a couple of other operations we can do on this. I'm going to go ahead and paste this 4 times there. The first one is going to be minus equals. The next one will be times equals, and the last one will be divided by equals. And those do exactly what you would expect. I'm going to just change the values here so that they'll actually perform those operations. And then let's go ahead and, just for variety's sake, let's make this one